the call. We stepping into the future and leading the charge. We only dreaming large, going colossal, impossible's nothing at all. Breaking the boundaries, making them fall, pushing the pathway through the wall, making the world evolve. Better get ready, cause we about to raise the bar. Let's go. This is the moment. And we are the movement. We are the dreamers.
We are the movement. Hey y'all, this is Derek, and welcome to Candid Conversations in my Kyra voice. We are here, and we are close to. I think this may be the closest we've been on time in a long time. So let's clap that up. Let's clap that up. All right. So let's get this party started by first bringing out the head that's formerly known as Kyra.
We're not gonna do that. Yes, you're only gonna see my beautiful, beautiful face of my picture because Kyra is having some serious issues over here with her laptop. I don't know. This mother get a little ancient, so it's time for her upgrade.
How you feeling today?
Horrible. I went to PT. They tore up my doggone arm. I'm in pain, but I'm here.
It was a beautiful day to be in PT, though. The sun was shining, the birds were chirping. You get your arm twisted behind your back. I think beautiful day, beautiful day.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day to be in pain. I used to have a different type of respect for PT therapist, physical therapist, until I became a patient. Now I don't like y'all.
Well, this week we are talking about spiritual partnerships versus traditional marriages, and this is a topic that was brought up by nobody other than our male good bad trouble.
The biggest troublemaker of them all, always stirring up some shit.
When he posts something, you know he means no good. So
no, he don't.
Let's bring him on now. What's going on, bro?
I don't like it. I don't like what just happened. I'm gonna let me pause because I still have my TV on mute. I don't like this. I'm gonna apologize to the deacon. I'm gonna apologize to the deacon right now. He don't even know what I'm apologizing for, and I'm gonna point at this way. I'm gonna point at Kara because I was sitting in a room for a long time and I ain't like it. I was sitting in a room just waiting to come on, and I was just sitting there watching y'all just have a good old time. Y'all just having a good old time, and I was just sitting here, just like, all right, when they gonna invite me on the show? And now I realize that me going last this time because I had to go to the bathroom. That the deacon goes last a lot, like most of the time, all the time, and he's the one that's just sitting there waiting for us to invite him in the show. While he's just sitting there, just all right. Whenever y'all ready, whenever y'all want me to come on, whenever y'all want to tag me in. And I'm just sitting here watching y'all having this good old conversation. And I'm like, all right, I'm here. Whenever y'all want me to come in, and then boom, y'all tag me in. So I want to apologize to the deacon for when she starts off and she ran off. Well, she got to go. I'm Kyra. How you doing? It's been a long day. It's been a long week. How you guys doing? And now I'm going to invite the first, when we go through all of that nonsense, you sitting there waiting for us to tag you in. So I'm going to go ahead and apologize. I'm going to apologize. You know what? next week we're gonna leave your ass in the waiting room so you can see how
Please
I
do.
feel
Please.
in
Please
the
do.
waiting room 5 minutes until we decide to let you in. Now I get it. I get it now, and I apologize because I was sitting here for a while, like, okay. And then when Derek started with, yeah, today's topic is, and I was like, oh, y'all just gonna leave me here? Y'all just gonna leave me here? I ain't even coming on the show tonight. I'm just gonna be in the waiting room waiting for y'all to add me on. And then it was like, oh, it's his topic. When y'all ain't gonna keep throwing me under the bus anyway. I just
It
asked
was
the
your
question.
topic.
No, we
You
ain't gonna
did.
do that. What we
It
ain't
wasn't his
gonna do.
topic.
What we ain't gonna do is gonna act like I invited the topic. I asked a question on Facebook.
And that
it
question.
got hot.
It got a lot of eyes. It got really hot.
And then it turns into, okay, let's go ahead and have this conversation. This wasn't something that I actually brought to the table. Because if we brought to the table a lot of the stuff that I talk about on Facebook, we'd be shut down right now. Because I don't know, sometimes when my Facebook go right or left sometime. It'd be like, man, this guy is out of control. But I'll be like, hopefully, like, it's respectful. But just to speak on it, I empathize with you, brother. Going last 99.99999% of the time, you're just sitting there. Kyra is a mess for that, and I rebuke
No, I'm
her.
not.
I rebuke her, and it's all
You
her
done got
fault.
rebuked.
Damn, I'm being rebuked.
You done got rebuked.
Because I felt how he feel. I felt how you feel, and I get it. I get it. I rebuke you, and it is your fault. It's
Oh
all your
Lord,
fault.
everything is always my fault. I
Yeah.
own it. That's fine. But
And at this
Derek is the
point,
one that Derek chooses to go last, though. That's the whole
but
thing.
we ain't
Derek,
gotta leave him. We ain't gotta leave him in the back room for 30 minutes.
he don't be back there for no damn 30 minutes. Now it'd be a couple
No,
of seconds.
29 minutes and 99 seconds.
No, that's
Well,
half the podcast. If that's the case,
well, this is the time while I introduce my white cup. I appreciate you all. I miss you guys. Let's get it on and
do you
popping.
though? Do you though? Do you really? All right, everybody, how y'all doing tonight? Now that Sean has apologized to Derek, I don't see the need for that apology, but okay. Derek chooses to go last, and Derek is all right with being in the background until he is hauled home. He
I
likes
feed off your energy, and I come back. I come out. It's like showtime. It's just you sit in the back and you feed off the crowd's energy, and then when they call your name, showtime, baby, let's go. So
exactly. That's he is. You know, he used to it. That comedian vibe. When he got to get on the stage, he be ready to perform because he know what he coming up against.
y'all give me material.
He just don't want to give you the honesty. I feel his pain.
That's
There is
the
no
glowing
pain.
circle. The glowing circle gives me inspiration.
The glowing circle.
There is no pain. There's no
The
pain. There's
glowing
no pain. There's
circle.
no hurt. There's nothing but love, love, and
I
more
love
love.
it. I
But
glowing
love it.
circle.
tonight's topic is spiritual marriage versus traditional marriage. But as I researched, it's not called a spiritual marriage, it is called a spiritual partnership. So we just gonna break down the definition of spiritual marriage. Okay, so this is basically what it says. Spiritual marriage is seen as a conscious evolution of a relationship. Okay, whatever that means. I don't know. It says basically, without a marriage license, that you get no expensive divorce court, no alimony disputes, no legal entrapment. It allows for a conscious uncoupling if the spirit journey leads the partners into a different direction. It allows couples to keep their assets, taxes, and debt entirely separate, which simplifies life in the area of high debt and individual career paths. In traditional marriages, you can sometimes hide behind your roles, like I'm a good husband because I pay the bills, blah, blah, blah. But in a spiritual marriage, there are no roles to hide behind. You are constantly required to be emotionally honest and self aware. And if the growing stops, basically that foundation stops, the relationship stops. So that's just basically what a
So
spiritual partnership is compared to a traditional um, marriages. And a lot of people are now talking or going into these spiritual fake partnerships or marriages versus being in a traditional marriage, which of course, as we all know, is illegal and binding contract. Excuse me.
All right.
That will take half your assets. So, what side are you playing for? Spiritual or traditional? Let's talk about it. Derek.
you know good and well. I'm going to be a component of traditional marriage, understanding that um, there's no such thing as spiritual partnership. I'm just going to put it out there. Um, that's like a Pepsi Light, right? You're gonna drink or Pepsi Zero. That's what we're saying because we either gonna be married or you want to take on the semblance of marriage. What I think is a part of it um is a little bit of emotional manipulatism. Um, because I'm locking you down to the components of marriage, but you're not reaping the benefits of said marriage, especially if things go left. So it may be a escape. It may be an easier track to roll. It's like saying we gonna give this is marriage for training wheels. We try it out, and if it works, I want to. If it works, it works. If it don't,
All right.
kiss my knee, kiss my knee, and nobody don't hurt no harm. Get a new bike. But let's be real here. After a certain while of those training wheels, training wheels good and cute on your little Ninja Turtle bike. It's cute on your little Barbie and Miss Potato Head bike, but you get a training wheel on a 22 inch mountain bike looks a little crazy. So let's call it what it's let's call it what it is marriage zero. That's what it is. Um, and we have to be careful with it because parts of it you may find yourself caught up in emotional manipulation. So yeah, that's my soapbox sermon right there.
Okay. To the person that started this whole conversation. And I recall that somebody said they prefer a spiritual. Give him spiritual before you give him tradition.
He don't want no
I
part
know
of
you fucking
traditional.
lying.
Should I pull up the post?
Nah, you ain't lying. Um, and you know what, Derek? You know what, Derek? You remind me of how my sister had came, and it felt like when she came how you came, and it was like, okay. She was like, "Yo, I'm gonna call you later," and I was like, "I
Uh
ain't gonna answer the phone. I'm just not gonna answer the phone." But nah, I looked at it from what I hear people talk about because it wasn't a thing from me. It wasn't a Sean thing. It
huh.
was Sean listening to the whispers and the talking of what was going on in our community, how we hear things when we talk about certain things that go on in our community or just in general. Um, Something that had just popped up, and I just asked the question. That's it. Um, what will you? What would you rather? A spiritual marriage or a traditional marriage? Just from what I was hearing. and the conversation just took its course. What it reminds me of, a spiritual marriage, is it mirrors somewhat of a common law marriage. Common law. You don't have to sign any paperwork. You don't have to deal with the government. It's just you and her and you, dealing with what you've been dealing with, and you have your ceremony and your party, and you move on. My sister was actually my sister, who is actually, she's Tawana Rochester Davis. Davis Rochester. I don't know which way she chooses to go with it, but she's a doctor, therapist, among other things, preacher, pastor, all of those different things. And she says she want to tap into this to see, the ideas of what is going on with this type of conversation. From my understanding, because I'm not of that community, that's why I would lean to Derek more when we deal with things like this, amongst other things. Is It puts me into the mind of, like I said, common law marriage. It's something to whereas you don't have to worry about the government looking into or tapping into what you got going on, and the paperwork and anything like that. It's just more spiritual. It's more one-on-one. It's more me and you, just us, not anybody else. So I think that from what I was seeing, that's what a lot of people was speaking on, and what they would favor more. It's more of allowing us to just deal with us versus the government and paperwork to lean in and deal with what we got going on. We don't have to worry about any divorces, any 50-50 splits, any this, that, and the third. Basically, it's just us. And if we do it right, I'm going to say right, as far as what I heard, is now, as far as my will and just my paperwork, as far as my medical necessities, I can just basically make you my beneficiary. I can say this person is going to get the house in my will. I can say this person is going to get whatever within my will. Whoever is the beneficiary of me, as far as medically, I can make that determination. Of course, I know people are going to say, well, wills can be challenged. Of course, wills can be challenged. But at the same time, when you're dealing with just a marriage and family, if you look at something like Nicole, I forget her name. She was a blonde bombshell, and she married this 90-year-old man or whatever, and that marriage took a left. Of course, people looked at it, and she was the beneficiary and was looked at to take all of the money from whoever, as far as the family. And they had a long battle. So even if you get married, I mean, you can get married, and the money and the assets can go to the wrong person. So I don't like that conversation to where it's like, oh, well, if you don't get married, the money can go to this person, or don't go to the right person, or the person that's really living with you, they can't get whatever. Well, if you marry who you marry, it can go to the wrong person. Like these conversations all can go the wrong way. They all
But isn't
can
that
go.
whether you, but if you're married and you still have your will, and like you said, wills can always be contested.
Absolutely.
But if you choose not to leave, you choose to leave what you want to leave to, whether it be your wife, whether it be your kids, or whomever. So isn't it the same thing?
That's my point. So the whole thing of the marriage the marriage, as far as um the spiritual marriage is, I guess, just me wanting to have this marriage without the government coming in and doing what they want to do or saying what they want to say or having a say on what I want to do. What I want to do is what I want to do. If I want to put this person in my will, if I want to put this person as a beneficiary of me, then I can choose to do that. When you're dealing with a marriage, I guess whoever you marry, they got to say so. I think at the end of the day, it's just basically a decision. It's basically a decision. And I've focused on a person being deceased or not being here any longer. If we choose to part in a spiritual marriage, you ain't getting half of my stuff. You ain't taking me for a ride. You ain't getting, what I worked hard for. In a marriage, you got people that's married to people like 6 months and they like, I want half of everything that you worked your whole life for. So I think that's what people are actually fighting against and preferring. That I don't have to deal with that aspect of it. We can just be with each other, have a ceremony and a party, and that's just it. If we choose to go about it as far as a marriage and we sign this paperwork, now you're obligated to get everything that I worked my life for. And I just met you last year, but I like me being a firefighter, I'm in my 19th year. Right? I mean, somebody get married, if I decide to get married, yeah, I don't sign paperwork or whatever. If I marry somebody after 7 years, or they can take half of my pension for the rest of their life, and they ain't fight one fire.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people are staring away from it because they feel like, if I'm an entertainer, if I'm an actor, if I'm an artist, if I'm a music artist, if I'm, a rapper or whatever I am, and I'm sitting on $100 million and I already had this money, depending on what state I'm in, if we choose to part ways and divorce, you can get half of everything that I worked my hardest for. And you ain't had to sweat one moment. So I guess that's what people are fighting, not fighting or choosing the spiritual marriage for.
But that's what prenups and stuff is for, if that's how you really feel.
What prenups can be for.
Because
But
I mean, but what
prenups can be
happens
for.
with the thing? Yeah, everything could be for.
Not if we ain't married. If we ain't married, there's nothing to fight for.
It is something to fight for because that person
What?
still spent they time. They put their time and their effort into that relationship just as well as you did.
But
So
legally, they can't fight for anything because we're not married.
if
Unless
it's not a common unless it's not a common law.
Common law. Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Unless it's a common law state. But if it's not, you don't owe me nothing, I don't owe you nothing. We just doing us.
Yeah, nah, I don't agree with it. I'm sorry, I don't.
I don't want to
I
be
ain't
biased,
doing it.
but hey, maybe I mean you're on the other side, and
I ain't doing it.
I get it.
And that's why I
I'm
say,
sorry. I'm not about to sit up here and spend
and that's why I
my
said that
days.
it's marriage is
I'm
marriage
not-
zero. It's marriage light. That's what it is. It's marriage without the it's the taste of marriage, but without all the legal mumbo jumbo that that you get all the risk, you take all the risk out of it.
I get it. I get it. I like it. I like it.
yeah,
I hear it.
I get it, but it's it take all the
No,
risk out of it, but it still leave you. I mean, I understand that. Okay, as they say, so you still single in this partnership that you're in, because that's all it is. We living together. We pay bills together.
I mean, if you want to look at it that way,
There's
but
no
let
real
me ask you this.
commitment. If there's no real commitment there,
I was just about to say, let me ask you this.
I don't owe you nothing. You don't owe me nothing.
I was just about to ask you this. When you're dealing with a marriage, you know, you have the ceremony and then you sign the paperwork, right? If you have the ceremony and you don't sign the paperwork, you just have the ceremony and we have the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a difference?
Well, first of all, what's the thing about the ceremony?
No, he's saying if you don't go through with the ceremony without the paperwork, you never went downtown, you never filled out for your marriage license, you just had a spiritual ceremony
The
where
same as a marriage.
same as a marriage, you stand before the preacher and you make a covenant before God. Does God honor
Yeah.
does God honor what the government don't?
But you just didn't sign the paperwork for your assets.
Right.
Is it the same thing?
I didn't know you was signing paperwork for your assets when you
It's
get
definitely
married,
paperwork for
because
your assets.
I'm assuming how you looking at marriage.
It's definitely
Because
paperwork for your assets.
if you look at marriage in that way, then okay, fine, you sign away your assets. But yes, it's the same thing. But like I said, I don't owe you nothing, you don't owe me nothing. So that's just like if you cheat, as some people say that's actually married, they say I owe, I don't have any loyalties to this person, because technically he don't owe me nothing, I don't owe him nothing.
I wouldn't use that. I don't get that. So I'm not gonna touch
I don't
that.
owe you nothing.
Well,
A
first of all,
relationship is a relationship.
We
black
single.
men don't cheat, so that's not even a conversation that
Black
we
men
have.
don't cheat. Shit.
We don't have that conversation. We don't have that conversation on here. So there's no need to have that conversation.
Black men do more than cheat.
Look, that's a different episode, because I remember Maury Povich, and every episode of Maury was, is this baby your baby? Oh, it's not your baby, and the lady run to the back of the thing, and she slides down and falls down every time. So we're not gonna have that, because the numbers that came out was
nothing to do with black men don't cheat.
Let me finish.
That has nothing to do with black men don't cheat. Never said that black women don't cheat.
Let me finish. You can have it. I'm not saying that black women cheat. All I'm saying is the numbers that came out said that as far as DNA testing has something to do with it, between 30 and 40% of all testing fathers came out that it's not the father, and that's from the CDC.
Okay.
So we're not gonna do. That's all I'm about to say.
What's your point?
That's what I'm saying. We're not gonna do this episode. Let's stay on topic.
I'm trying to figure out what is the point.
Because we went into cheating, black men cheating, and I want to say let's stay on topic with marriage.
Y'all brought that up, not me. So I didn't bring it up.
I just didn't want to go there on the show. That's
but
what I'm saying.
Regardless, like I said, if a spiritual marriage is, I can come and go as I choose. Correct?
Yes, but then you said that gives the right for men to cheat, and no, black men.
I didn't say give it a right to cheat. I'm just saying it's not committed. It's not nothing. What did I commit to? If I'm in a spiritual marriage,
your
what
partner.
did I commit to?
Your partner. You don't need paperwork to stay faithful.
Okay, so if I committed to my partner, then why my partner can't marry me?
He is marrying you. He's just not signing paperwork.
No, he's not marrying me.
So that means that you need,
because neither one of us have nothing to lose.
Okay, so let me ask you.
Neither one of us.
So let me ask you this question. So you need that paperwork for you to be married?
I want it.
I didn't say you want it. I said, did you
I
need
want
that
it.
paperwork? Did you need that paperwork?
Yes.
Because if you look at
Yep.
if you look at our culture, all we needed was a broom. Jump over the broom and you're married.
And people
That was
still
our-
do that.
that was our culture.
People still jump, and people still jump over the broom
Yes, but we incorporate.
after they get married.
Yes, that's all I'm about to say. But they incorporate that. But the problem that a lot of people is having is if things go left, now they have to separate their assets, which a lot of men are now looking at, saying that that's not something that they want to do. They rather just go ahead and have the regular relationship. We can have a ceremony. It's like a promise ring. We can have a promise ceremony, and we can have a promise reception, and then we're good. I'll put you in my will. I make you my beneficiary, and then we're good. We don't need to incorporate the government in our situation.
And that's why I feel people are is not. I don't think it's a deeper connection, or people are
Christina says,
choosing.
yes, you need paperwork.
I don't even.
Is
I
it
think. I
that?
think. Like I said, it's just. I think it's an
Is it
easier.
just? Is
It's
this
an
just
easier
about
way.
assets though?
That's
When
why Roshawn was signing up for it. It may not be what everybody along the whole
What?
line, but Roshawn is saying this is the best way. I preserve my assets and give this young lady the experience of being married to Roshawn. Everybody should be. Everybody can't be so lucky. So somebody, I'm gonna bless somebody with the experience of being married to me. with protecting my assets. So this is the way that we get the best of both worlds.
I'm gonna rebuke him too. All right. First and foremost, he is
But
rebuked.
that's still like a cop out.
Why? Oh, wait, whoa! Why you saying the cop out?
Because the same way a man is trying to protect his asset, that woman ain't thinking about really protecting hers.
But historically, men are the ones that got took into the cleaners. That's just a fact.
The system
Okay, but now,
has always been set
yeah,
up.
but now moving forward, that's not the case.
Well,
Well, it ain't the case
to a certain extent.
Moving
ain't
forward
the
is
case.
not the case because you see a lot of these men are getting alimony, they're getting child support, they're
But
getting
they're
their
not
custody.
They're not getting half of what women
Hold on, wait, Derek.
historically have gotten.
Hold on, wait. You talking about Halle Berry and Mary J. Blige? Everybody else still getting screwed over.
I'm not talking about just them.
There's only two people.
You,
What you talking about?
no, I didn't.
Men,
No, I
men
didn't.
still get ran over. Like it's not equal at all. It ain't close to being equal.
I never
Not
said it
even
was
close.
equal. I never said it was equal. What I said
Okay.
was men are now getting alimony, and it's a lot of men. Look at what you call it.
It's
is
nowhere
in between
near
his
the
divorce
it's
right
nowhere
now,
near the form an
and he's
argument.
asking for his. And this girl don't even got the money he got.
Because it's
She
nowhere near the form an
got the
argument.
money that he got, but yeah,
Cousin,
he
listen.
asking for alimony.
Cousin, listen, it's nowhere near to form an argument. You have no case.
I'm not saying that it's equal, but I am saying that men are doing it now. They're not
Of
just
course.
sitting there letting. They
Of
are
course.
now fighting back to keep what's theirs and to get some of what's hers.
Of course, this whole weekend, this past weekend, there was people moonwalking in the theaters for the Michael Jackson movie. That don't mean that
What?
everybody was moonwalking.
Right.
I mean, it's
Okay,
of
and I
course it's going
understand
to
that,
be
but we're not gonna
one
sit
or
up
two.
here. But we're not gonna sit up
Hold
here
up.
and just keep
It's
acting
going,
like
cousin.
a woman don't have assets that a man can take. It ain't just about your assets.
But point is, it's not a thing where we can create an argument for.
Mm-hmm.
It's becoming a thing. Is what I was saying.
But
It
what I'm
is
saying to
becoming
you
a
is,
thing
it's
because this is
not.
what men are now doing.
It's not. It's just the ones that has been done that way is yelling to the top of their
Now,
lungs.
in a
But
normal,
hold up. Let me say it. Let me say it. But it's not anywhere near an argument for what men have been going through for the course of their whole entire lives. It ain't even close.
okay, so I cannot even hear you at this point.
Good.
What do you mean you can't hear me?
I didn't hear anything that he said. I saw his lips moving, but nothing was
You
coming
just
out.
didn't want
I didn't
to.
hear
You ain't
anything.
want to. You didn't want to. But
No, I didn't
basically,
hear you. You was it was like you was muted.
like I said, basically what I'm saying is men been going through this certain thing their whole entire lives. Just because one or two women has had to encounter what these men been going through their whole entire lives doesn't create an argument for you that is making it an equal thing. It's just giving you a glimpse into what we actually have been going through our whole lives, which should give you more empathy for what we actually are going through
But what are
or
you
have gone
going
through.
through?
What?
Okay, what you have gone through, what some men have gone through.
Yes.
Okay, I can have empathy for some men,
And then
not all, but some.
but don't give me the but.
Why I gotta be a
Don't.
but? I say I can have empathy for some, but not all.
But I know it's come. Something is coming. So go on, bring it. I already know. Come on, bring it. Don't
What
bring
are
it.
you talking? I didn't say a word. I'm not. I didn't say a word.
Derek, you hear the sweet voice? You already know
Yep.
with the sweet voice
Yep. That's sweet voices. That's what gets nervous.
is coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's
There is
coming.
nothing coming.
About to knock it
So
on, drop it on your neck. Like, wait, I wasn't ready.
I you know what? I'll be honest. And I'm going against Derek on this one. And you know I don't go against Derek a lot when we're talking about men versus women stuff because we got the brotherhood, like you got the sisterhood. But I'm gonna lean over to the spiritual marriage on this one. I'm gonna lean on over to that. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna lean on over to the spiritual marriage.
I
What?
keep,
I'm just gonna say. I'm not even gonna say it.
What?
No,
spiritual
we
marriage
gonna get
is
back. We gonna get back into the spiritual marriage.
spiritual marriage is just easy. It's easier. It's easier to digest. It's easier for someone to wrap their head around. It takes the guesswork out of marriage. If this doesn't work, do I want to be in a situation where if this doesn't work, am I losing things that I worked very hard for? So
I'm gonna
I think
disagree with a lot of that
really. So that's
because
what it
it's
sounds
me.
like,
I answered. I can tell you from my perspective.
right?
I can tell you from my perspective on why I answered, and I'm answering because some of what you said was right. I ain't got to get a prenup. I don't got to lose half of my pension. I ain't got to lose half of my assets. I ain't got to lose any of that stuff and put up, sign a prenup and have to come to you and now we gonna have an argument or whatever because you don't want to sign it. Is we already know what it is. If you don't like what I got going on or what I think, then it's fine. But now I don't have a problem with the traditional marriage. Let me be clear. I don't have a problem with traditional marriage. I don't have an issue with that. We're just gonna sign prenups. But I also look at a spiritual marriage is not an issue. I mean, as well. Whereas, I mean, we don't have to do all of that other stuff as far as, going to get a marriage license and, what I mean, all I got to do is just put you in my will, make you my beneficiary on my medical necessity paperwork. Okay, I'm good with that. If anything was to ever go on, I would still leave you on my will, but I would just remove you from my medical necessity.
And he has the complete freedom to do it. That's
I don't
why
You
got to
have
some
worry
complete
about
freedom, and you have complete freedom to do that if you marry too.
no,
no,
you
absolutely
married, you
not.
can't do any of that. You married, you can when you're married, unless you do it before you say I do, that has to already be understood and agreed upon. This can't be a decision or a conversation that we'll have when we get across that bridge. This is understanding from the jump what is expected, and then we sign off on it, and then it's the marriage. And I can understand to a certain extent because we don't talk about the price tag that comes with a prenup. They're not giving
And
out
even
prenups for
even
free.
after that, yeah, even after that, you can actually fight a prenup and win.
Like they're not giving out prenups for free. You don't just you don't
You
download
you can.
you don't go on freeprenups.com and no, there's a price that comes with that prenup. There's a processing fee. There's your whoever is preparing the prenup, you have to pay them you got to pay them their price to prepare the prenup and to process it. So there's
And Derek, don't forget, you have a lawyer and she has a lawyer.
right.
Both of them has to be paid.
Yep. So I can definitely
Oh,
understand why some men may opt to go the spiritual route over traditional, but it's still going to be traditional for me. It's still going to be,
I
you
respect
know,
it.
second time in um and is difficult. Um, there's a lot to it that's not easy. Every day there's a lot of compromising and you're learning the person and all the rest of that stuff. Um, but I think it will be harder for people to honor that covenant that they're entering into between them, their significant other, and God, when you always have that looming um I don't have to be here in the back of your head. The whole reason why even back in the day that marriages were um successful. Mind what I'm saying, why marriages were successful. Because successful does not mean happy. It just
No,
means
it
it's
doesn't.
successful. It means that they lasted the test of time. And a lot of time that was done because there was no other option. Marriage there was
And
no marriage was divorce was unheard of. Divorce was frowned upon. So we're in this. So let's figure this out because you're not gonna. I'm not gonna bring shame to my family, and you're not gonna be that female who can never get married again because no man wants to touch you because because the men already knew that you belong to me.
I just wanted to add to this that I think was a little interesting. I don't know if it's Kentucky, but I remember a state, but I'm leaning towards Kentucky. And another state has just done the same thing. They've done away with one-sided divorce. divorce is actually a 50-50 split. And divorce has went down 25% since that law went into play, to whereas the woman get whatever 100% or whatever percent of the time. Divorce has went down. Divorce went down 25% because it went 50-50 split. So I think that shows a lot with some people. When Derek was saying, as far as, now when people get divorced because they ain't happy, or because, irreconcilable differences. I mean, like back then it was, you work it out, you go to counseling, you figure it out. Now it's just like, nope, I ain't happy, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
And you got this incentive to whereas I get child support and I get alimony. But now these states are turning to, you ain't no longer getting child support, and you are no longer getting alimony. There's a 50-50 split. And now divorce,
especially when you're the filer.
Yeah. Now divorce has went down 25% in the last year or two. Ain't that a little interesting? A little bit.
It's probably not because of 50-50 split. It's probably because love is growing so strong now that people are just so madly in love. That divorce is not.
Well, at the end of the day, we all know that people don't. Or I'm not gonna say everybody, but a lot of people don't marry for love. They marry for other things. Some people marry because they don't want to be alone, or some people marry because they getting up there in age and they want somebody to take care of them. Or, it just depends on whatever it is that you don't have in your life, that you want in your life, and you feel as though you need a partner in order to get that in your life. So
I get it. Okay, so now let's eliminate this. So let's eliminate this paperwork where you get half of my assets, you get half of everything that I own in my pension, and we just go and do it clear across the board.
We don't have to be in a spiritual marriage to do that. We could just date.
Same thing.
It doesn't have to be a spiritual anything. We just gonna date and we get up when we get up.
If that's what you want, not a problem. But
if you want to accumulate anything together.
I get it. If you want that title of a wife, then we can have a spiritual marriage, and we can have a spiritual wedding, and we can have a spiritual reception.
Is it about the title?
I'm going to send you a spiritual. I'm going to send you a spiritual wedding card with a spiritual donation in it.
I'm okay. I'm all right. I'm gonna be okay. I'm okay. I'm gonna be all right.
Yeah, you might as well just say that you single and you do you. I'm gonna do me. We get up when we get up.
Oh, in your legal world, that is single. It is single.
So what's the point of why am I putting a title to something that's not real?
Oh, we're not saying you, Kyra. We're not saying you. We're talking about the people that want to do this.
Right.
You can do what you want to do. As we already know.
What's the point? My thing is this: why are you putting titles on something that's not real? That's not really your husband. That's not really your wife. That is a person that you're dating.
Hold up, Karen.
That's your partner.
Hold up. I thought I explained it. I
introduced you, and when you enter, and I'm not introducing you as my husband because that's not what you are.
That's you. That's you. Other people can do what they want to do.
They can, but I'm just saying.
We heard you say it.
If we have any viewers on here, why do you want a spiritual marriage if it ain't real?
Why you saying
What's
it
the
ain't real?
point?
Because it ain't real for you.
It's not real in the definition of marriage, period.
Why?
It's
Because
not real.
I don't agree with that.
I'm dating you. That's all I'm doing is dating you.
Hey, I
I'm
hear you.
gonna date you for
I
15.
don't agree.
You're gonna be dating for 15 to 20 years.
It happens. It's been happening for years.
Exactly. People date for 15 to 20 years.
And people
That
get
don't make
married for,
that
and hold up,
that don't make
and
them their husband or their wife. That makes them just a partner, a person
yeah,
that I'm dating.
yeah, and people get married for 2 and 3 years and get divorced.
And they do. And
So
they
what's your
do. And
point?
I'm not saying that they don't.
The only difference is the marriage license and the signature on the paperwork. That's it. It's not the commitment. The commitment is the commitment.
And not the commitment is the commitment. And the only person that you should be committing to is your husband or your soon to be wife.
I agree. But I don't think that
Anything
you need. I
outside of
don't think you
that
need paperwork. I don't think you need
is
paperwork.
not a marriage.
I don't think you need paperwork for you to distinguish that. I just don't.
And that's fine. It doesn't, and a lot of people don't have to feel as though they need that in order to be married. Because
You know
people
what's
live
funny?
together people
You
live
know,
together forever in a day, and then when it's all
you know,
said and done, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go my way, you're gonna go your way, and then it's deuces, and it's all for what? You
you
don't
know what's
even.
funny?
It's no need to even fight for it.
You know what's funny? When I was younger, right? And, I had me and Tamara. Me and my kid's mom had our son, our first son, and in the middle of the 90s. And, at that time, we were just coming out of it. We were just starting the whole thing of it was okay to have children out of wedlock. And I would be in certain places out of Patterson. And they would ask me like, "Oh, you got a son?" And I would go like, "Yeah, I got a son." And they would go, "I didn't know you was married." And I would go, "Oh, I'm not married." So at that time, it was like taboo for you to have children but not be married.
Mhm.
Like if you was pregnant in the 90s or the 80s, you was hidden. And they would say, "She's down south."
Yep, going down south and come back with your little brother.
Yes, and somebody older would raise that child until you got older. If you went to jail, you were in the Navy or the Army. It was a shame put on it, but in time we chose to allow that thing to be a thing without
Mhm.
any shame or any question about it. So we was allowed that freedom to say, "Oh, you can have children without marriage." But now it's like we're having this whole thought process of it's a weird thing to have a marriage without paperwork. People have been living together and having relationships in our community for 20, 30 years. And there was no marriage, no paperwork. The only difference is there wasn't as savvy as much to have insurance and a will and things like that. Now people are saying, "You know what? I don't want this. I don't want to lose all my assets. I don't want for this person to take half of what I worked hard for. So I'd rather not get married. We can go ahead and have a ceremony. We can have a spiritual marriage. And if anything do happen, I can add them to my will. And even after the point, and we split, you still a part of my will. Versus you taking half of everything that I worked hard for. And that's just what men are looking forward to now. They'd rather not have an actual governmental marriage and just have a spiritual marriage, and I keep my assets. So I guess blame the ones that enter the marriage world looking to take part of this person's whole life from them without real love and being with them for the right reasons. Blame them.
Why it has to be somebody to blame?
Why
You
does it have to be
understand?
somebody
You
to
understand
blame?
what I just said? You understand what I just said?
No, I don't.
A lot of men are tired of getting taken advantage of. Not saying that women don't get taken advantage of, and not saying that. Let me go ahead and say that for the disclaimer. But a lot of men are tired of being taken advantage of, and they rather just have the ceremony and make you a part of their will.
That could be contested.
You ain't taking half of my stuff. If you take half of my, if you're contesting the will, if the will is being contested, it's being contested by my family, not you. It's being contested by my family to get it from you. I'm pretty sure they don't have a problem with that neither.
And that person can still be left with a person that spiritually helped you through your whatever how many years of life,
You
and
understand
still
what I
be
just
left with
said?
the same, and still be left with the same thing, which is what she came into the marriage with, if that will is contested.
If a person
choose to win. So either way, it's the same thing.
It's not the same thing. If a person is contesting a prenup,
hey Pinky, ain't seen you in a long time.
Okay, if a person is contesting a prenup, that's me standing 10 toes down on my stuff and somebody trying to get part of my stuff. If somebody's contesting the will, I'm dead. I'm dead. My son, my daughter, they're contesting to keep you out of it, which they have a right to do that. So there's a difference in who these people are. Contesting a prenuptial is you trying to get my money from me. Contesting a will when I'm passed is my children trying to keep you from taking my money from them. That's a totally different thing.
It is a totally different thing. But still, at the end of the day, that person is still left, could be potentially left with nothing, whereas she would have more of a fighting chance to get what is in the will of whatever you chose to leave her than being married to you than not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as far as us being together, you benefited from being with me the whole relationship.
Hey, and you didn't?
What?
And you didn't benefit from being in a relationship?
Who? We're talking financially.
Okay.
We're talking financially.
That doesn't
Nine times out of
that
10.
doesn't mean because you're the man doesn't mean you haven't benefited financially either. Because that all depends on the situation.
9 times out of 10, when financially the woman benefits from the men, and we know that. Like, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to have this.
Okay, we surely not going to do that. Not especially not in this new day and age. We're surely not going to do that. But if we gonna leave it with how a woman financially benefits from the man, and you don't benefit financially from the woman.
I never said that.
But at the end of the day, if you put her in your will and y'all got your spiritual marriage, and whomever chooses to contest that will, she is more likely to lose as a spiritual wife than she would be as that traditional wife with that piece of paper.
All right. Whatever the case may be, all I'm saying is a lot of men are leaning more to it's better for them to deal with the spiritual marriage versus the traditional marriage.
Right.
Pinky says marriage licenses only become popular in like the 1800s to regulate who could get married and who to record that. Before that, our people been getting married without it.
Right. I mean, that's obvious. We know that. That's your argument,
Miss Darlene. What do you mean we don't know that? What don't you know, Miss Darlene?
Tell her to call in. But she gonna write something long. I'd rather for her to get on and explain it.
Drop the beat.
How you know she gonna write something long?
But you just asked her a question, and I know that it's gonna be a long.
No, because because I'm trying to understand what she's saying.
So she already answered. She already answered on the post, so I already know that she had some thoughts on it. So I'd rather for her to just speak on it. Speak on like my sister. My sister spoke on it and she was like, "We're gonna talk later." No, we not. We ain't talking later.
And I'm not saying that is anything wrong with a spiritual marriage. If that's what you choose to do, then that's what you choose to do. I just feel that a woman that's married with that piece of paper has a little bit more authority and power over if y'all should leave, if y'all should depart, or if y'all die, God forbid, if you die, that person that spent all of this time with you should still be able to financially still be taken care of. And that go either way, whether it be her or whether it be him. You done spent this time together, and now you're going or you're gone, and you've built something, and you're used to a certain lifestyle, you're used to certain things. If we just going to be talking about finances, if that's what we're talking about, finances, because I think a marriage is built more on just finances. But I think what you're missing, if it comes down to just finances, I think both parties should be able to walk away with something.
I think what you're missing,
just talking about finances.
I think what you're missing is this thought process. Like a lot of the thought process on the one side is coming from men that has been done dirty in the court system.
Right. Or who know somebody or are connected to someone who have seen the evidence of a marriage breakdown that may not feel that it was. You meet some females who don't have a problem walking away from a marriage because they benefit more walking away from a marriage than they do staying.
Thank you, Derek. You don't have a history. You don't have a history of women dealing with this. It's more of a nuance, and it's one or two people that you know out of 100 or 200 or 300. You know plenty men that have been done dirty in a court system, and what they're choosing to do is just not sign up for it to be done dirty again.
Well, all y'all, please don't live in these common marriage states.
But that's the point. But that's going back.
Everybody don't have that privilege
to have a spiritual marriage. Don't live.
They don't have that privilege.
But that's why I said that it's just people are not
if it's recognized after 7 years. unless
I
you
won't
plan
say
on dipping out
everybody.
before 7 years is up.
I'm not saying
Then you
everybody.
at least you'll have a fighting chance with common law
Lord,
marriage.
Lord, not in Jersey.
Because
But and that's why I say that people are not doing this
I
because
see that people now look at marriage as just finances. And instead of marriage is not just about finances, it's about other things too.
Cousin, you know what?
But you
A
know,
lot of people, cousin, a lot
it
of
is
people
what it
feel,
is, and they do what they do.
cousin, a lot of people feel that maybe you need to talk to the sisterhood because a lot of the sisterhood, a
Maybe you
lot of
need to
those,
talk to the
hold on,
brotherhood.
let me say it. Let me say it. A lot of people,
Where
okay, a lot of people feel that there's a lot of women out there that marry for finances, and I'm not talking about the ones that choose the women or they're looking for a certain type of woman. I'm talking about men that truly love the people that they choosing and they go through these marriages and they get done dirty. I'm not talking about the ones
Miss
that choose.
Miss Darlene, you got to hit the link, honey.
Let me say
I'm
it.
trying to tell Miss Darlene how to get on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You got to
But
hit the link, Miss Darlene.
no,
The link is
okay,
in the comments.
like I was saying, there's men that is just good dudes that's looking for a good wife, that's looking for somebody to spend the rest of their
Okay.
lives with, and they
Okay.
they end up with somebody that's manipulators. They're
Mhm.
gold diggers or they're women that's just looking
Mhm.
for one up, and they
Mhm.
go 2, 3, 4, 5 years married, and they take this man for half of everything that he's worked hard for. And men are looking at those good dudes and saying, you know what, I don't want to end up like that.
hmm
So they say, you know
Mhm.
what, I'd rather not go through the whole paperwork process and just deal with the
Mhm.
spiritual relationship, and I'm fine. And a lot of guys are good with that.
Yeah.
And not
And I'm not.
just, let me finish with this. Not just doing it here in the United States, they're going overseas and living the rest of their life there. I got a friend
And
personally
it's
said he moving to Thailand. Personally, one of my best friends said he moving to Thailand. He's done with over here. Make good money too.
no.
Y'all in
My best
good
friend
dude.
moved to Thailand, and he live in Thailand. He been living there for almost a year now, and he love it over there. I don't knock what other people choose to do. It is what you feel as though you want to do.
Ain't
But at
nobody
the end of
say
the day,
you do. Ain't
they not the only. But men are not the only ones that get hurt in relationships. And maybe that you're not the only ones.
the majority of men are the only ones
Everybody,
that get
everybody,
railroaded.
everybody,
Hold up. That's
everybody
a
get
false.
hurt. But
That's a false narrative. That's a false narrative because nobody's saying anything about getting hurt. But the majority of the men are the only ones that's getting taken for their money. That's the problem. Nobody talking about being hurt. You can get hurt in a
and
relationship for
I'm
months
gonna
at a
say,
time.
well, you sitting up here talking about her
No, men, everybody get hurt in relationships, but
because
not the majority.
they
But
getting hurt and their pockets is being their money is being taken from them, and
their
that's once
resources,
the
and
not
relationship is
men
done.
feel
just
as
not
though
just the money, not just money, but resources. Period. Because it's more than money that you lose. You can lose properties. You can lose business. You can lose businesses.
Yes,
If you have a
nobody's
business,
talking about just being hurt.
if you have a business and you lose half that business, you no longer have a controlling stake, so you can't even make a decision for that business any longer. And if you say your wife just sat at home and she don't even know the first thing about the business, but now
okay,
she's a 50% stakeholder, meaning that if I need to sell this business, I have to first either buy her out or get her on board. And if she don't
BET,
care nothing about the business, so
BET.
now
there's other things to it
can
other
we
than
flip
money.
that and say, let's say the wife didn't just sit at home and help you build that business, then what? Do she not do she not is she not allowed to get a piece of that business if she helped you
Yes,
build it?
Yes, but the
But
numbers stay
then,
different.
but then she got to fight her way through it because now you dead and gone, and your kids feel as though, oh, why should she get a piece of the business? And
Not in a
now she got to
divorce.
go through that, and
Not in a
because she
divorce,
not
cousin.
married
We're
to
talking
you,
about a divorce.
legally married to you,
Not in a
now
divorce.
she may not
Not in a
even
divorce.
and she
Well,
may not even be. I'm not talking about the one. I'm talking about your spiritual marriage. Now
or
she
else you
may not even
die.
be able to get that.
Well, in a spiritual marriage, I done gave you some of my money and my assets.
But if it's contested,
You can
if it's
contest the prenup.
contested,
You can
all
contest
right,
it all.
you can't contest the prenup, but that don't always mean that that's what's gonna happen. But in a spiritual marriage where you have no legal binding of anything to nothing, even if that person helped you, if she came into your life 10 years after the fact, and she helped you build the rest of your empire, and your kids feel don't know this is my dad's money. She don't deserve all of this money. We taking her to court. We're gonna contest his will. She doesn't
You
really
can
have a
contest
leg to
both.
stand
I don't
on.
agree. I don't
She
agree.
doesn't
I
have
think
a
that
leg to stand on when she does
I
not
think
have
it's
that
trash.
legal
I think that
that legal
argument.
contract.
I
I'm
think it's a
sorry.
weak argument.
You can
I'm
think it
sorry.
all you want to, but at the end of the day, a legal contract is more binding than somebody just saying, "Yeah, this was my girl for 20 years."
She was
No,
on my
both
girlfriend. All right
can be
now.
contested. Both can be
Well,
contested.
Candy Conversations' favorite auntie has just stepped in the building. So we're gonna have her come on and give her insight. And I know it's gonna be a good one.
It's
Cause
not.
she don't open her mouth unless she got something good to say.
I already heard
So
it.
Well, everybody know my hair's not done right, so that's okay.
Hey,
Listen,
Miss Dudley.
how you doing?
I'm all right. Y'all
Good, good, good.
drop
Good
those
evening.
wisdom keys for us.
Well,
Good evening.
this is the thing. This is the thing. What's missing is that, and just for history, my husband and I have been married for 51 years. Okay, and trust me, it wasn't easy, but it was definitely worth it. Now, this is what's missing because I think that at the end of the day, when you've already gone through, you built things together, you've been committed to one another. I think that piece of paper, like I said in my post, that piece of paper sometimes causes you to take pause because it's not as easy to walk away as it would be otherwise. Okay. Then you got
I
to think
agree.
about your children, because like my mother always was like very big on us having a relationship with our father and a close relationship with our father. And she always wanted us to have all the same last name. She wanted kids by one man, and she instilled that in us. Okay. So, and I think that when I look here where I am today, okay, I think that my husband and I, after having gone through what we've gone through and grew the way we grew together, we have the best friendship and the best commitment to one another. And the thing is, I think that if you base it on money, because it's way more than money. Like right now, if I were to hit the lottery for millions of dollars, all I can buy is more of what I already have. I have everything I need. Okay. So money never even is an issue right now. Okay. Money has nothing to do with our happiness. I right now, if I want to, I just buy it. Okay, it wasn't always like that. But what's more valuable is that I know that I have that friend. I know that I have that commitment, and whether I'm wrong or right, my husband is going to stick behind me 100%. You know what I mean? So I think that as you grow in a marriage, and this spiritual thing, like I said, what is the spiritual marriage? Well, there's a lot of things that are spiritual. You know what I mean? So how do you really define a spiritual marriage? Because we walk away, we have a spiritual relationship with God, right? And we walk away from God so frequently and come back and forth like a yo-yo. So I think that at the very least, having that commitment. And another thing I think that paperwork says is that you love me enough that you want me to be legally a part of your life. You want me to be legally a part of everything that you own. And I think that people give up on marriage way too soon, because there were times when I felt like giving up, but when I thought about my children, when I thought about what they would be losing, they needed their father in the home. They needed all of the things. And I have all boys. I had all boys. So I thought that it was a benefit. And because men don't relate to young boys, in my opinion, don't relate to their mother the same way they relate to their father. And another thing, fathers aren't usually as sympathetic towards their sons. They hold them to account more than the mother does. So there's so many variables in relationships that I think that even just having that piece of paper does make a big difference. Okay, go ahead, Sean. I'm listening.
Okay, and look, I agree with you, but that doesn't take away from what the conversation actually was about, or what some of the men a part of this conversation, how they feel or what they think. Because when you look at divorce in this in the United States, divorce is initiated 80% from women, right? Men tend to want to work it out and want to deal with and stay in a relationship more than women. And if you look at the reasons for divorce, one of the biggest, well, the number one is irreconcilable differences, and we all know what that is. I ain't happy. I don't feel it no more. I don't such and such and such, which is the reason why now, if you look at it in a couple states, now once they took away no contest in divorces, now they're speaking on divorce is 50-50 split. Divorce them went down 25%. Now they're willing to work it out. Now divorce went down 25%. So a lot of men, what they're saying is, because it was so easy for men to lose their assets and to lose, their money and all of the things that they were going through, they're not willing to get ahead and be married the same way as before, because they were going through so much and losing so much. Not saying that I agree with it, or that I want it, but I understand it. I understand that because I've been in the court system, and I've been there to whereas I'm a human being like the other person was a human being, and I was looked away from because I'm a man. They were gender biased automatically. It was like the child is going over there, not asking me what I do, where I live, am I capable to take care of this child, my mental health or anything like that, versus asking them, what do they do? Where do they live? Or are they capable of taking care of the child? They just automatically was gender biased and went straight to the other person, which I felt was unfair. And there was a lot of other things. That contributed to it, which I contested, and I eventually won. I've eventually won because the court system seen that they were biased to the other gender. The same as in these states now that they're choosing to go 50-50 split in divorce, which now divorce has actually went down. So it's not a thing to whereas men don't want to marry, they don't want to have a relationship. They want to have a relationship. They want to have a partnership. They want to be together, but they just don't want to lose all their assets and lose all of their money and lose their businesses and lose their homes. They just don't want that type of thing. So they're choosing to, you know what? I didn't even know that this was a thing to do. So now, if I can go ahead and if it's not a common law state, if I can keep my business, if I can keep my home, if I can keep my money, then we just gonna be boyfriend and girlfriend. We're gonna have this wedding, which excludes paperwork. We're gonna have this reception, and we're going to live happily ever after. And that's what men are choosing to do. So I would say maybe let's blame some of the people that's demonizing or choosing to use this as a weapon and taking men for a ride and taking their assets and taking their money and taking their homes. Let's talk about that instead of saying, oh, I don't understand it, or I don't understand why, or why men are doing this. When we know why men are doing this, it's because men are signing up for marriage, but they're being taken for a ride from some of these people. And we can't say, oh, that's the women that they're choosing, or no, because some women, they show up like beautiful princesses as well.
Mhm.
They show up as these women that want the best for everything, and we're going to be great together, and I love you, and I'll never do anything wrong to you. And then soon as things don't go their way, they're taking you for everything that you got. So some men, what they're choosing to do now is, I'd rather not sign this paperwork and being taken for a ride, and we're going to go ahead and just have this ceremony. We're going to jump this broom. We're going to have this party. I'm going to put you in my will, and that's it.
Let me ask you this. Could
It's not
the
me.
rate-
Let me just say,
Okay,
it's not me.
okay,
It's just what I
okay.
know of.
Could the rate of divorce have gone down because people are learning to learn how to stay together more? Because I know when I was growing up as a young girl,
You
I
want me to
didn't
answer
see
the question, or you want to go into
no, I'm not
into the
finished.
comment?
I want to give you an analogy.
Okay.
When I was young, I didn't see as many Black couples. There was a lot of single family homes run by women. All right. Now, as a matter of fact, a friend of mine wants to have a party with all couples. Okay. Because now we know a whole lot of people that are married and for long periods of times and short period of times. So I'm kind of wondering that maybe the rate of divorce may have gone down for that as well as other reasons as well. I don't know that it went down. I'm taking your word for it. So I think that might
Do
be
the
a viable
research.
question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
do the
I will.
research.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. But I'm just saying, you know. But I mean, like, to each
Your
his own.
question
Yeah,
was,
well, that's what I said. Did you think that maybe marriage have gone down? The rate of divorce has gone down since lately because people are learning to love together and live together better.
I would say the only dynamic that came into play, because people were loving together and living together before the court case, right? Before the court case, they were loving together and living together. Years and years and years before then. The only dynamic that came into play now
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is 50-50 split.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that came into play. It's the only thing that's different. People been loving each other. People been dealing with each other. People been, compromising with each other. The only thing that's different now in those couple states, the only thing that's different in those couple states is now it's 50-50 split time and finances between the mother and the father. And divorce has went down in those states. I'm pretty sure they were loving each other before. I'm pretty sure they were compromising before. I mean, so we can venture into those things. I don't have a problem with that. I maybe, to answer your question, maybe I'm going to lean more that divorce went down because now certain people are not getting the benefits that they were getting before, which is probably alimony and child support the way that they were getting before.
Well, then I think that kind of substantiates my point because even if that be the case, people that stay together end up having more together, right? So maybe by them not being able to, and it goes both ways, because there's a lot of women that make a lot more money than men. Okay, so it goes both ways because I've seen men be like
I do not want to do that.
what?
No woman in any nationality or ethnic group makes more than the men of that same ethnic group or nationality.
That's
None.
a lie. That's
And
a lie.
on average, hold on, wait.
I
Hold on,
don't know about no average.
Let me
Clarify
ask
that
this.
before they go to your lawn. Clarify it.
Yeah, let me ask this. On average, if you look at on average, the 50 million black women and black men, on average, black women don't make more than black men.
Oh, really?
No, you can look that up. At all. It ain't not even close. White women on average, don't make more than white men. On average, Asian women don't make more than the Asian men. On average, Hispanic women don't make more than average men. In no nationality or race, no women make more than the men. None. White women make around equal to black men. Asian women make more than black men, and I'm pretty sure that Indian women are part of that whole of the Asian sector, but they make more than black men. But black women do not make more than black men on average at all.
Okay.
Black men is around 50,000. Black women is around 45,000 a year.
Okay.
Did we find it?
I'm looking. Because I find that very hard to believe.
No, you just know your friends. You just know your friends. And we've dealt with that on this show before when we had another podcast around here because they live in Atlanta and they knew a lot of Atlanta women that made a lot of money, which I was explaining to them. In Atlanta, yes, women make a lot of money, but in Mississippi, they don't make a lot of money. In Alabama, they don't make a lot of money. So on average in America, black
60% of black women make more money.
Globally, across developed countries, women make about 88 cents for every $1 men earn on average.
Thank you. Men make more than women.
Where are you looking at Derek?
Chat.
Well, look at blackdemographics.com. It'll show you everything. Go on blackdemographics.com. Statistics for black people by black people.
There are rare exceptions, but they're not widespread or consistent. Luxembourg, one of the only countries where women slightly earn more than men on average, is about 0.8% gap. And Timor-Leste, Burundi, and Liberia, women and men are roughly the same.
Wow. What site was that you said?
Blackdemographics.com.
Okay. All right. Okay.
It says white women earn about 80 to 85% of what white men earn. Black women earn about 60 to 75% of white men's income. Latino women, 55 to 60% of a white man's income.
All right.
Now here's where here's the part where I think Auntie Darlene is coming from. women in their early 20s, especially college
Yes,
educated,
you're gonna break it up. We can do
in
that all day
cities,
long. That's what I said on
yep,
average.
they often earn equal to or more than men the same age.
Yes, that's early because they choose things like nursing and stuff like that, where young black men they got to wait until they get into their 30s and 40s on average
Right,
to start making money. Even
right.
us as firemen, you don't get to $100,000 a year until you get to around 10 or 11 or 12 years. Whereas a nurse, you probably get that in 5 or 6 years. But
Well, but at the end of the day,
on average, black men to black women make less than black men in America.
all
Did you
right.
see it?
Well, no,
Did you
I
see it?
can't. I'm looking on the site, but I haven't gotten to that yet.
Put in Google.
I did it on Google, and it said that I did it on Google first,
It
and
says
it said that 80% of black women made more money.
No.
in several major U.S. cities, young single women out earn men in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, D.C., and Atlanta.
Young.
But this is mostly young, childless women.
It's young women. Black women and black men in totality, black men make more than black women.
Yep, he's correct.
Okay. I ran into one that says overall in the United States, black men still make slightly
Whatever
more
you want to
money
put
than black
before it.
women.
It doesn't matter what you want to put before it. I'm just correcting because
All
that's a
right, we just
narrative.
gonna put this all. We gonna put this all to an end. On an average, as of 2026, this is the breakdown of how earnings look within the black culture community. Black men and black women have the highest level of pay priority compared to other groups. Black women earn approximately 94 cents for every dollar a black man earns. Weekly medium, black men earn a medium of $1,016 per week, while black
Yeah.
women earn $956 per week. And that's
But at the end of
basically
the day,
what it says.
if you could,
It
Whatever
says
we
if
want to
you
break
want to
it.
compare, white women earn about 80 for every white man, and this means that the gender gap is significantly smaller inside the black community than it is in the white or
Yes,
Asian communities.
yes.
at the end of the day,
And
black women can carry
and
themselves. Black women can
no,
carry
no,
their
no,
own.
no, 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 no. If we're
Yes, they
gonna
can.
follow a narrative, hold up, wait. If we're gonna follow a narrative and speak to the truth, is exactly what I said. No woman in any ethnicity or any race earns more than any of the men. So
On average.
what I just and no disrespect, all I want to do is correct a narrative that's being put out there. Black women do not make more than black men. Black men
On
make
average.
more than black women. So let's
On
not stop
average.
They
following that
slightly don't make more
narrative.
than
Let's stop putting that narrative
black
out
men
there
still
because
make
hold
more
up,
than
let me
women.
say it. Let me say it. Let me say it. Because if we was to throw out there that black women make more than black men, we'd be yelling and screaming to the top of our lungs and chilling and chatting. And yes, that's right, black women. Do it for the culture. That's right. Let's do it. But it's not the case.
We just read the
Let me
statistics.
say it. Let me say it. All I'm saying is be proud of our young black men. Be proud of the men that's leading our communities. Be proud of that. No, they're not doing the whole getting their degree thing, but they're leading in fire, they're leading in police, they're leading in military, they're leading in plumbing, they're leading in infrastructure, they're leading in electric, they're leading in HVAC, they're leading in laying out streets, building out bridges, they're leading in engineering, they're leading in all these different things that you don't need degrees for. Because I didn't need a degree. And I'll throw it out there. I make $200,000 a year. And I ain't got one degree to speak for.
Well, the thing is,
So
there's a
we
lot
don't
of
need
people.
degrees for that. So
Steve
what I would want to
Steve
do
Ballmer
is
didn't have
hold up,
degree
hold
either.
up, hold up, hold up. What I would want to do is instead of throwing out a narrative out there to where we can all be proud of, Let's be proud of our black men, where black men right now is stated to be the #1 black men in America in raising their children, as far as the CDC. #1. Look it up. You see how your eyebrows just raised up? Look that as well. Look that up as well. Black men are #1 in America. And hold up, let me say it, and you can have it, and I'll let it go. Black men are #1 in America.
I'm not understanding where the issue comes in at nobody. That
What about allowing me to finish? What about me allowing? What about allowing me to
because
finish?
it's like you making a whole nother narrative out of one thing.
Because somebody said
that someone says that black. Just because somebody says that black women make more money than a black man. Okay, she can make a mistake, but at the end of the day, it's not that serious.
Can I say it? Because there's a narrative attached.
You've been saying a whole damn lot.
I'll say peace. I'm out. I ain't got time for it. I'll say peace.
Let's play.